Hey everyone! Thanks so much for tuning in today and joining me here at Enlightened Hearts Ministries. It's great to have you sitting in on this conversation. Before we really dive into things, if you haven't already, take a quick second to hit that subscribe button. It really helps keep our community connected and ensures you don't miss out on these weekly sit-downs. So, thank you for that. Now, let's talk about something we all deal with. Burnout. That bone-deep exhaustion where you feel like you're constantly performing, constantly producing, just trying to survive the week. We live in this highly transactional world, right? Your employer owns your 9 to 5, and everything feels like a data point on a corporate spreadsheet. And if we aren't careful, we bring that exact same exhausting energy into our spiritual lives. We start viewing our faith as a transaction, a checklist. We treat the kingdom of God like a distant, celestial retirement plan, a passive reward we get down the road if we just keep our heads down and survive the grind. But if we look at the readings for this 11th Sunday in Ordinary Time, Jesus completely shatters that whole mindset. In the Gospel of Matthew chapter 9, we see him looking out at the crowds, and the text says something raw. It says he felt a deep, gut-wrenching compassion for them. Why? Because they were harassed and dejected, like sheep without a shepherd. Man, does that resonate or what? Harassed and dejected by life. And look at his immediate response. He doesn't give them a speech about a far-off paradise. He looks at his disciples and says, "The harvest is rich, but the laborers are few." And then he deploys them. Right then and there, he summons 12 ordinary, deeply flawed people and delegates his own authority to them. He tells them, "Go, cure the sick, raise the dead, drive out demons." He announces that the kingdom of God is at hand. It's here. It's a real-time, active reality, not a passive inheritance. This isn't a new strategy either. It's the culmination of an ancient blueprint. In our first reading from Exodus chapter 19, God pulls Israel out of Egypt and brings them to the base of Mount Sinai, and he tells them, "If you keep my covenant, you will be my personal possession. You shall be a kingdom of priests, a holy nation." Think about that layout. Long before there was a heavy temple hierarchy, God's original design was for an entire people to be a dynamic nexus between heaven and earth, a localized force of his real-time presence. It's what the Church calls our covenantal vocation. The Catechism of the Catholic Church, in paragraph 782, reminds us that the people of God have for their law Christ's new commandment to love as he loved. It's an active identity. It requires what the Greek scriptures call metanoia, a total structural restructuring of our minds and priorities to match the incoming reality of God's immediate sovereignty. This connects directly back to what we've been tracking in our previous reflections. You know, looking at the nature of God. The great I Am. God isn't a distant, isolated cosmic boss who demands your perfection before he shows up. St. Paul reminds us of this in our reading from Romans chapter 5. He writes that what proves God's love for us is that Christ died for us while we were still sinners, while we were helpless, while we were completely broken. That is who the I Am is, an unfiltered conduit of grace breaking into our mess. And how do ordinary, tired people like you and me carry out a high-stakes deployment like that without completely burning out? Where do we get the fuel to face the raw distress of a fractured world? It happens at the altar. It's the Holy Eucharist, the absolute king of the sacraments. See, at every single Mass, the historic sacrifice of Calvary breaks through time to meet us exactly where we are struggling. When we receive the Eucharist, we aren't just participating in a nice religious ritual. We are consuming the very life of the one who looked at the harassed crowds with absolute compassion. We are consuming the I Am. And when we do, we are transformed into what we receive. The liturgy never closes with an invitation to just relax and be comfortable. It ends with a dismissal, a sending forth. Go into the harvest. We leave the sanctuary as living extensions of the kingdom, commissioned to heal and restore, pouring out grace just as freely as we have received it. Your employer might own your 9 to 5, but at the altar, you are fueled for eternity. To close our time today, let's sit with these thoughts for a brief moment and reflect on this truth through a simple haiku. The harvest is white. Heal the broken, raise the dead. Grace poured out for all. Next week, we are moving into the 12th Sunday in Ordinary Time, and things are going to get incredibly real. We'll be looking at a heavy moment in the prophet Jeremiah and a powerful challenge from Jesus in the Gospel of Matthew about fear and what it truly means to testify to the truth when the stakes are high. You're definitely going to want to be here for that one. Until then, know that I'm praying for you. Go out into that harvest this week, lean into the Eucharist, and live out that radical vocation.